in the culture is that, again, we were millionaires in the 1700s. Which other Afro-Indigenous community was like that back in the 1700s?
Yes.
To become poor, working class person, people, or community here in America. You know, we had to analyze that. We had to have those type of discussions as a community. It's not a Honduran thing. Exactly, because I know what happened in Honduras. In Honduras, we were totally marginalized from everything. We didn't have access to the wealth in Honduras at all. So what happened in Belize and what happened in Guatemala? Where's the commonality in us as a community?
And I think what you're describing is institutionalized segregation and racism.
Right.
Is what they did to us in Honduras.
Right.
And maybe even Guatemala.
Right.
You know, where my uncle was born, for instance. And they tried to do it to us in Belize.
Yeah.
But we stood up in Belize. You know, so we stood up, and when you stand up, people hate you. They dislike
Well, you're
you.
not supposed to if you're a person of color.
Yeah, you're supposed to stand up, but we stood up to our government in Belize as Garifuna people, and we told them and we demanded what we wanted. We wanted to celebrate our day.
Right.
We wanted to preserve our culture and teach our culture to our kids, and they had to give us what we want. You know?
Right.
We had leaders like Thomas Vincent Ramos and all our leaders that stood with them. And that's one of the ways that we kind of got power in Belize to be who we are, to celebrate who we are, and also to be a part of the economy and to be a part of the government and to be a part of the leadership in Belize, where it didn't necessarily happen like that in Honduras.
Honduras, I mean, we had a Garifuna president in Honduras.
Wow.
He was half Garifuna, half Latino. And he was the one that gave us land back in the 1900s. Manuel Bonilla. His name was Manuel Bonilla. His mother was Garifuna from Trujillo. He was part of the nationalist party. But after him, we didn't get any benefit from the government for embracing them and their agenda. There's the two-party system, the nacionalista and the liberal, the liberals. We embrace now the liberal party, majority as a community, but I don't see any benefits of embracing that party. I mean, I mean, we're still struggling to become part of that society,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. And I think that's a part of politics where the minority are usually ignored until election time comes. You know, that's when we're noticed.
Is that the same narrative in Belize?
In Belize, yes, generally, not only to Garifuna, but to all people.
But we have a lot of Garifuna people that are involved in politics in Belize. Like I heard something about this Mena, Mr. Mena. He's running for governor or something like that. Josh, you're laughing. You gotta tell me why you're chuckling. Tell us about the politics in Belize.
Garifuna people are not a political people.
Right. I always say that.
For you to live the concept of Amuduno, politics is too divisive for you to manage.
And you have to pick sides.
Have to pick sides.
We don't do that as Garifuna people. We have trouble doing that.
So you could see how the politics itself could divide a group of people. If I want to take away your power, I give you false power. So I falsely empower one of your own people. And then you think that you have power because you think that you have a voice.
Right.
But what is that voice really?
Well, here's the thing. The thing about politics is the goal of politics is for person or communities to equally distribute the resources of the country. And that's done through the government. That's the reason to engage in politics. We never engaged in I think it was last election that we got 12 or 10 congressmen in the House in Honduras. And it's 2018. after 221 years? You know, because I know it's a different dynamic in Belize. We always had Garifuna leaders in Belize, but what was the, you know, from their tenure in politics, how did the community advance?
Well, in Belize, the Garifuna politicians, I think, first one that I remember my age was Dr. Theodore Aranda.
Theodore Aranda.
And yes, he was with the People's United Party. Belize is also a two-party system mostly.
Okay.
And he was with the People's United Party, the party that brought independence to Belize. And Theodore Aranda pretty much represented Dangriga, where this is Garifuna town.
Okay.
And the Belizeans thought he did a decent job. I'm not sure what we expected or how much we expected. You know, I was still a child to see. I remembered him being the Minister of Health at one time, maybe.
Right.
I also remembered him probably being the Minister of Education. We got free education during that time.
Okay.
We didn't always have to pay for a high school education, for instance. We also had a minister with a different party who took power around that time. His name was Chiste, Russell Garcia. He was more of a grassroots type of person.
Was he Garifuna?
Yes.
Russell Garcia?
Russell Garcia, he was also Garifuna that represented us. He was more grassroots, he was more of an organizer, he was more of a youth leader.
Right.
He was also a farmer. He was the father, no, not the father, but your family was Russell Garcia, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Garcias in Honduras.
I used to work at his farm. I used to work at his farm.
I'm sharing how some of our Garifuna leaders that went into government, that they actually did well. Yeah, they did very good work, and he started programs that benefited Garifuna people, and not only Garifuna people, his constituents, but everyone in the area.
Right.
You know, he started programs that rebuilt the beaches.
Okay.
Because we had erosion problems.
Okay.
So he found out how to rebuild the beaches naturally.
So he was in tenure after Hati, Hurricane Hati?
Yes.
Okay, because I knew that hurricane devastated Dangriga, I believe, to the point that it was barely unrecognized.
Yeah.
I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, it's around 1993.
Early 90s, 91.
He was in power.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Theodore Aranda, who was with PUP. So yeah, he did a lot of work. He also reopened one of the high schools and turned it into a resource center for agriculture.
Okay.
He was the Minister of Agriculture.
Right, because we have a lot of land
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
Have you guys heard of Carrot Reserve? Is that Garifuna land? Carrot Reserve? What exactly is it, and how did we get it? And why was it called Carrot Reserve?
Well, personally, I do not know the story behind Carrot Reserve.
Okay.
I would like to ask Josh if he knows.
I've heard about it.
Was involved in it, and so was my father.
My dad spoke about it a few times, but I never got the meat of the story.
Okay.
So I think, and it's a good thing you brought that up, because that is one of the things that we will have to get into to find out what's happening with that and what had happened with that.
I spoke briefly with the president of the National Garifuna Council while I was in Dangriga 2 months ago.
Right.
And I asked him about the Carib Reserve, and right now, my understanding is that we're using a part of it for a cassava project.
Okay.
Where the Garifuna people are planting cassava and finding different uses of cassava and processing cassava, making cassava bread, cassava for export, and different things like that.
Okay.
I understand that it's a very huge amount of land, but I'm not sure how many acres it is.
Huh.
And it's right outside of Dangriga. Isn't it all that area that comprises of the monument?
Yes,
And
right
behind
on the
that?
Coliseum.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about music now. Politics is too, you know, I want to keep it, I don't want to get anybody bad, you know. Shaka, I heard you play in a lot of records. Well, some of the artists that I follow, some of the influential artists that I follow, but you could give our audience a rundown of the persons and albums that you performed on.
Well, Generally, I haven't performed on albums, but
Okay.
I've always been very active in the music scene ever since I moved to LA in 1994.
Okay.
I moved here and I joined the Libayan Baba Band.
Libayan Baba. Greg was a member of that band, right?
Yes, Greg Palacio. And the
Okay.
Libayan Baba Band is a band that was comprised of several of us. Most of them were brothers, and they're my first cousins, Jeffrey, Kelsey, and Dayton Bernardes.
Okay.
Were my first cousins, all three of them are brothers. And also Greg Palacio, who is a friend of the family.
Right.
And myself, Magarda, who is a cousin. So Baba was our grandfather back in Dangriga, and he really inspired us to be musicians. He was one of the master drummers of his time,
Okay.
along with the Abragos
Okay.
and Machete,
Right.
and other musicians.
And Justo Flores or Isabel Flores was another one.
Yes.
Isabel.
Flores.
You have that
Yeah.
his record.
Oh,
I have that record, y'all. Liboria Laude, Tina Nibo Ganyan.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that record. My grandmother got that record.
Whoa.
It's an LP.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
So yeah, he inspired us to be a part of music, and I've always loved music. My uncle Higgins was also a musician.
Okay.
And he was with the Turtle Shell. He was one of the originators of Punta, or he was there.
Right.
Punta rock music.
Right.
And he later was with Sounds Incorporated.
Sounds Incorporated.
Yes, which
Okay.
was one of the premier Punta
Okay.
rock bands.
I got
of
that
the time.
record.
Yeah.
I got that record as well. That was the band before Punta Rebels, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
A couple
Yeah.
bands
Because a
before
couple of
Punta Rebels.
guys from Punta
So
Rebels
the
wasn't.
Sounds Incorporated, they also had Sound City Band.
Before
Sound
Sound
City.
Incorporated.
Now there was Sounds Incorporated
And Sound City.
and Sound City
Yes.
came a little after, so they had both of these bands together.
Okay.
There was already Forever Band too.
Forever band.
With Manny Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Royces. Remember Cops, Colors,
Yes.
CD, Hasabano.
Yes. And some of them, they joined together and formed Sounds Incorporated, because they kind of got guys from different bands. So Miami ended up with Sounds Incorporated, Mohobo,
Right.
Higgins, Peru, all of them. Some of the best Garifuna singers and
I do remember
musicians
that
of
album by
their time.
Moho Ball.
Yeah.
It was sounds so good. That's where he played that song. Yes, Piece of it new. Yeah, yeah. And he had a salsa song called Marco Santos Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that salsa song? Oh, Arenga Besano.
Garinagu.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff because I used to sell CDs when I was in college in Brooklyn and in different festivals in New York. So all these records I collected.
Oh my
I mean, I was just blown away.
Awesome, yeah.
I was blown away by the musicality. Remember what I was talking about? The musicality was different back then.
And it was tremendous. So my uncle was a part of this band, and they used to practice at my father's house, where there was a lot of space. So I got to see them live practicing. And later on, when I was a teenager, they used to play at Sounds Incorporated, which was right in front of our house.
Okay.
So on the weekends, I would go there and listen to them. So I was really inspired by music. When I moved to LA, and I noticed the lack of culture and the lack of wanting to be Garifuna, the lack of wanting to speak the language, I thought I had to be very active in my community. So I became very active by volunteering with whatever Garifuna organization was doing. I started volunteering, and they chose me to be the MCs for different shows, like Miss Garifuna,
Okay.
the young one, Mr. Garifuna.
We had one last
Mr.
year. There was a
Garifuna.
Mr. Garifuna here last year,
Yes.
right?
I was the host of that one as well.
Okay.
Terrific. And when they would have the block party for the Garifuna Day, I would volunteer. And
Okay.
I learned how to communicate with the Garifuna people. You know, I speak my language quite well. And I'm grateful that I'm able to inspire other people to speak the language. And I did see a difference after a few years. I noticed more people wanted to speak Garifuna. Because
Right.
when they spoke to me, I would speak to them in Garifuna.
Right.
And it became more of a fad, and people started sharing it. And now I notice in LA, a lot of people speak Garifuna, so I'm very grateful about that.
We've been here since 1940s in LA. The Garifuna
Garifuna
people.
people, yeah.
Now, we have a museum now.
Yes.
Is there any other institutions that Garifuna people have in LA?
You know, I haven't kept up. I left LA about 9 years ago.
Okay.
But I'm aware of the museum, and the museum also associates with offering classes
Right.
on the weekends to Garifuna and people who want to speak Garifuna. To know of any other professional organizations by Garifuna for Garifuna in the city, I'm not sure at this moment.
What about Garivision? I think they also play their role in.
Yes, that's the network that we're trying to build now. And Robert Mariano, we have this brother from Honduras called Miguel Alvarez and Limon. He has a radio.
Radio Limon.
Yes, Radio Limon. I mean, it's just, and I'm doing this, you know, Mabriga Garinagu, and we just need to like tell our story or tell our narrative and communicate with each other. Because pretty much I see that we're all under the same boat in Central America. We're trying to preserve the culture, we're trying to maintain it under this environment that's like really not conducive towards Garifuna Dual.
We have to come. We have to go back to one of the principles of what it means to be Garifuna.
Right.
What the Garifuna terrain should be the Lagaida Garifuna. There is no Garifuna stranger in the Garifuna land. And when we get back to these principles, Aubu Amurunu, I for you and you for me, being my brothers and my sisters.
Right.
When we started coming back to our foundation, that which makes us Garifuna, I think we will start to move in that direction of unity, unison with each other. Right.
Do you think that we could create that unity or strengthen it by using our spirituality, by using Ogulendo? Because a lot of persons, they practice different denominations of religion in Honduras, Belize, and so forth. Do you think it starts with that?
I think that's where it has to start.
Okay.
It has to start with the Garifuna spirituality. The concept of Aubu Amurunu is a spiritual concept.
Right.
It's already a spiritual concept.
Right.
Okay. And hence the reason why in the Garifuna culture there is no such thing as Buiti Binaf. It doesn't exist.
Buiti Binafi doesn't
Buiti Binaf,
exist.
It doesn't exist in the Garifuna culture. Because if I say Buiti Binafi to my brother, it doesn't capture the essence of Aubu Amrino. I'm saying good morning. It doesn't capture the essence of Aubu Amrino. In the Bia, the Biangi, it captures the essence of Aubu Amrino.
Okay.
How are you, my brother? Okay? Because I show concern for my brother and my sister first.
Okay.
And then we start the conversation from there.
I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it
There's
like
even a
that.
song about it. Ida Biyangi, Odiga, Ida Biyangi, Ida Biyangi. It captures it in the song.
Who sings that song?
Ramos, Chico?
Chico Ramos. Okay. Okay.
It's captured in a song. So there's a lot about Garifuna that needs to, that we need to bring back to the foundation of what it means to be Garifuna, which is our spirituality. Being my brothers and my sisters key.
Right. Where would you like to see the Garifuna culture in 10, 15 years from now? What are some of the things that you would like to see the culture accomplish, or your vision?
I'm not, this is, and I'm speaking for me, I am not looking at accomplishments in terms of worldly accomplishments for the Garifuna culture. I'm looking more at accomplishment in unifying who it is that we are as a people. If I see that we could embrace the concept of what the Garifuna Terengsha, the leader, the Gaida Garifuna, that the Garifuna person could travel in any Garifuna land.
Right.
Bring together the Garifuna nation. Not to say that we're only separated by political borders. but not by our ideology, not by being what it means to be Garifuna.
So what's it going to take to accomplish that? I know that spirituality is one avenue we could take, but what are the others, you think?
It has to start with spirituality. Because everybody has to know that Garifuna is bigger than self. There's only but one spirit. As a result of that, there's only but one people.
Right.
And as a result, there's only but one culture. But we're different expressions of that spirit, that people, and that culture.
Right. And when you say that, I'm thinking about the styles of drumming. Belize is different. Honduras is totally different. It's more freestyle. And Guatemala, to me, is like in the middle. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you do this, exactly, you do this for a living.
Have you ever heard this song? If every single girl was one girl, what a girl that would be. And if I could have just one dream, one single dream come true. Have you ever heard that song?
Never heard of it.
It brings together the essence of oneness. If you have one dream, if you bring all your dreams together and make it into one, it's powerful. If you take all beautiful girls and make them into one girl, powerful, right? Every single drummer is one drummer.
Okay.
There's no good, bad, worse. Every single drummer is one drummer. Doesn't matter if I like your style, you like my style, or the world doesn't care for the other style. Every single drummer helps to magnify the voice of the culture and draw people in to then learn more about what it is that we have to offer.
Shako, what's your vision for the Garifuna community 10, 15 years and beyond?
You know, I totally support the idea of Aobu Amuranu and the idea of a Garifuna nation. And I understand Ruben Reyes
Yes.
is working on that. My vision is that we as Garifuna people, and we as Garifuna people, we really need to embrace other cultures. And we need not to lose sight when we're trying to save our culture, to respect and love and appreciate other people's culture. And my reason for saying that is that some people among our people, some Garifuna people could be very,
Closed?
yes, they don't want to accept or appreciate other people and other cultures and other ethnicities among us. And when they see you as an individual with someone of a different ethnicity
Right.
or something like that, some of them could be very lack reception, And I say that because sometimes you get it from people who are the same people who are promoting oneness and
Right.
promoting Aobu Amuranu,
Right.
And Aobu Amuranu, he said to Bogrega to no Mari,
Right.
to get his own. You have to love who you want. Not just because you're a Garifuna and you promote Garifuna love. If you don't want to marry a Garifuna, you don't have to.
Right.
So my point is that we need to be more inclusive
Okay.
and realize that as in the struggle for human rights here in America, it wasn't only black people that fought for human rights
Right.
and fought for voting rights and fought for justice for black people. There were a lot
Right.
of Jews and Gentiles and Europeans that
Right.
fought for us to gain rights in this country. And there's also a lot of people in Honduras when we're going through stuff. A lot of Hispanic and Spanish people helped us because we're humans.
Right.
And we do things because it's right, not because it's expedient.
Right.
And that's what I want. I want more inclusiveness. I want to see us progress. I want to see you Garifuna people speaking to your children in Garifuna. I don't see how you don't understand the purpose of that as yet.
Right.
I don't see it. And I'm tired of cursing at you to do it.
Cause see, that's the thing. Like, I think we get real quick to get frustrated with each other, to our own detriment, because that's not really constructive.
No, man, no.
That's not gonna getting mad. I getting mad at Josh is not gonna help us moving forward.
Yeah.
is
It was
actually
a lot
going to take us
easier when you could
backwards.
come calmly and say, Josh, you know,
Right. Luti wudumeha no mole feru na bana tia pe
I
mi se
disagree
tile
with you,
badigo na.
or-
We have to talk again.
You know.
I think we stopped talking as a community.
There are many factors that contribute to the reason why we're divided.
Right.
And my reality might not be true. My truth might not be your truth.
Right.
My reality might not be your reality. But we could have a conversation about each other's reality and each other's truth.
Right.
And you will find out that during the conversation, it comes right back to the fact that, hey, I am my brothers and my sisters' keeper. I have an open ear. Again, there's only but one spirit, my brother. So we have to go back to spirituality.
Right.
There's only but one spirit. As a result, there's only but one people. And as a result, there's only but one culture. But there are different expressions of us.
There's a song about that.
Never heard that song. From Dangriga?
I don't know.
Or it's one of the, and it's a traditional song. Is it Punta Paranda?
Punta.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I knew you drum, but I never knew that you played the song. Well, to be a drummer, you need to know the songs. As a dumbria, I learned that from watching my band perform. You have to know the songs and the different breaks and the different structures of it, so you could drum accordingly.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you the story.
Right.
I am when I started playing the drum, I am giving you the story in sound. Okay? Feel that drum playing, hit the skin, and that story is being transmitted. Because you would not be playing and doing all this improvisation while the person is singing. You're absorbing everything.
Right.
And every now and then you feel.
You anticipate what's coming, and then you put one extra. Oh.
So you have to have a very good memory then, because I remember when we did the ninth day for my grandfather.
The night.
Yes, I believe Beluri. They started playing from 10 p.m. to like 8 a.m. in the morning. All different songs that I've never heard before. In Naguan, in my hometown in Honduras, and that was very surprising to me, because that just tells me that
We have a lot we're not sharing.
that and just the amount of songs.
Yes. And that's why they need to be documented. They need to be documented because it's a rich history.
Right.
And each one of these songs tells a history.
Yeah.
That's what our history is. It's written in song.
Right.
And when we weren't literate enough to write,
Right.
we sang a song. You know?
So how many Dagood songs exist?
I don't know.
So
There are a lot.
because okay.
There are a lot.
But I hear like maybe 3 variations of the good songs. But when you say a lot, because I know there's different segments. I mean, there's certain songs that you only sing during Chigu, certain songs that you only sing during the good ceremony. What do you know some of the popular ones?
I don't know. I don't know that much about the good song.
Okay.
But I know that there are songs that are sung when for the maracas to come out. You have to have specific song
Okay, for the maracas to
for the
come out.
maracas to come out. And there's specific song for the Mali,
Okay.
specific songs for what they call churu.
Right.
But I don't know enough to give you more details about it.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us about some of the points that you hit on your TED Talks in regards to feminism and the Garifuna drum? Just a synopsis, because I know it's a pretty long presentation that you did on TEDx.
The TED Talk is 18 minutes long.
Okay.
And pretty much talk about how Garifuna drumming made me a feminist. Originally when we started with doing the initial points to this to the whole talk itself. I just said, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is what I wanted to talk about. This is what I wanted to talk about. This is what and when you look at the whole thing, it starts to zoom in on one specific thing.
Right.
The importance of our women in our culture. Importance of our women in our culture.
Right.
I was talking about this drum, and it starts to show that our women play a more important role than we think. Our women are the foundation of our culture. They are the foundation of our society.
Right.
They're the foundation of our families. They're the heartbeat, they are the pulse of who we are.
Right.
And hence the reason why we have a segunda and not a segundo.
Okay.
Because the segunda is pulsating. It's the heartbeat of every rhythm. And it does that by pulsate that one steady beat that
Right.
keeps timing.
It's constant.
So it plays a more feminine role because it sets foundation. The primero plays a more masculine role because it improvises. It does all these things. Our father would go out. If he would go out to fish, he would improvise different because the tools that he would carry would be a paddle. So he would improvise differently, for example, if he goes to the farm, because the tools will be different.
Right.
But every single thing that he does, it is based on that timing. What is that timing? It is the pulsating foundation set by our mothers at home. It's a pulsating foundation set by that segunda drum. And always have to come back home.
Sometimes I've seen the two drums set up, the primera and segunda, but there's a third drum. What role does the third drum play?
All the time that I play, it is always a primero and a segunda.
Right.
A primero and a segunda. You could have more than one primeros or more than one segundas, and they could play different roles depending on how you want. For example, one person could be just playing that home beat for a paranda, while another person's job is mainly to just improvise.
Okay.
And same for the segunda, because you could also now with creativity you could improvise using your segunda drum, but you still have, but then you have to have dual roles now, because you'll be improvising but still keeping pulsating, being a foundational.
Okay. Huh. Josh, you gave me a lot to think about and more to analyze. Shaka, any parting words for the community?
I just want you guys to know that I love you as Garifuna, and we as Garifuna, we're very important. And a people without a language is a lost people. So again, just take it for what it is, but it's very important that you teach the children Garifuna. That's my only message to you. And if you don't, it'll be your fault that your culture and my culture dies. And I hope that you do. It's important to teach the kids Garifuna. Figo lumayano humage gave na ho hirahi. But the gain of Ayano ateme Hagubri gave no home. The get Subudi Habali, the get Herero Baliore. Demetile Howegu, Cabameti Herere, Cabameti Renge Garifuna be home. Huh? Busenda de Lum, Gamata Ubaya La, Nirahi, Hauma by Hayano Garifuna. Friend that I gave no Hirahi, Haruda, the Gabanega home.
Josh, any parting words?
My parting words are simple. Aubu amanano is what Garifuna is all about. Hagabri be garinagu, aubu amanano. Let's live for each other.
Sereme Nibu.
With me.
Okay.